Peter, you talk of avoiding things in the process of workflow media management. Does media management just eventually mean that the tape-less world will become the less tape world if we're talking about avoiding something? That's
definitely got some merit. I think I'm not sure we've found any broadcasters or content owners yet who have no tapes, even those who have claimed to have become tapeless. I mean, there's always an argument, if material's being generated on tape in the first place, to keep that anyway, just because no matter what you do, digitisation can never make it better quality. So I think there will always be some tapes. It could be different formats of tapes, data tapes rather than broadcast tapes for storage of content. But I think that the key thing with the workflow is to look at making sure those tapes are at least tracked as part of an online workflow, such that they're not sitting on a shelf somewhere, never touched. They're actually, they're tracked in the same way as the file-based material, such that they're still accessible, still usable in case that has to happen at some point.
Jeff, if I can come to you on this.
I don't think the tapeless world is ever going to exist. People again talk of tapeless as being tapeless, i.e. a videotape, but data tapes, we all rely heavily on LTO tapes for storage, and those data tapes were around before videotape, and they're definitely going to be around post-videotape. So I don't think tapeless in our industry is ever, or any industry, until storage technologies change immensely, is going to be a thing of reality. Tapeless just won't happen. It's again people's concept of what you mean. It's like we were talking earlier about this word workflow. Tapeless is a similar sort of thought that has been planted in people's minds that tapeless means no tape in the production cycle. Right, so you've got a discless camera and you can stay file-based all the way through the end. But then what do you do with it? You stick it on data tape, so it's not tapeless.
Good news for the polymer industry. Tony, your perspective on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the desire to go tapeless, as Jeff says, in the production process and throughout the content chain is very laudable, and a lot of people are doing it through their processes. However, I think at the start and the end of the process is a different matter. We migrated one of our customers onto our system 2 years ago. It's a very large global media operation that's only been in existence for 25 years, and they migrated the data of 1.4 million videotapes. So anybody that turns around and says tape is dead, I think is wrong. They're not going to digitize all of those, so they'll store them and they'll digitize them as and when. And rightly so, what we're talking about at the other end of the cycle, we hear people turning around and wanting to archive all of the content, keep more and more content. The explosion in content is there, so it's got to be stored somewhere. LTO is the ideal solution, and therefore taking it into a data robot and storing it on an archive system is fine, but that robot will soon fill up. They need to externalize the tapes, and all you're doing is transferring it from a videotape to a data tape, and you've still got to manage it. So absolutely, we will not be, I don't believe in our lifetime we will see a tapeless environment. Companies, some of our customers, the archive organisations, the National Film and Sound Archive of Australia, they have a significant amount of content that they're preserving. So they will carry on preserving a lot of it on tape. They will digitise, but they'll carry on preserving it. So I don't think tapes will ever go away.